Welcome back. Welcome to this edition. I'm your host, Moses. Welcome to this podcast edition. I'm your host, Moses from Deficit. And this is Deficit Podcast. We are focused on relationship, fitness, health, business, and finance. So today's topic, we're having a very wonderful topic today. You can see it on the screen already, which means uh, 10 signs you will not be rich or wealthy in life. 10 signs you will not be wealthy in life. So let's dive into it. Do well to follow us across all our social media channel on YouTube, on TikTok, on Rumble, Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter, on X, formerly known as Twitter. So let's dive in. Now, number one, you do not have a plan. Yes. Number one, you do not have a plan. For you to be wealthy, you need to have a plan. How can I achieve this particular thing? You see, your plan is like a blueprint for an action, a blueprint that you will need to follow. Now, if you are in the defense forces or you're in the armed forces, you discover that whenever they want to go on operation, on critical operation, first of all, the first information that they will get is what we call a map. What is the geographical location that they are actually going for that particular operation? How far is that particular place from their current base? How hostile is that particular environment? How friendly is the environment? Will there be external invaders or intruders? So those are the list of things alongside other things. What are the likely challenges and the threats that they will actually face in that particular operation that they are about to go to? So this and all of others are the things that their map actually spells out. What are the route that leads to the destination that they are about to enter as the destination for that particular operation. So what is that map? That map is a blueprint. This is what this place is. These are the possible strategy. These are the various routes that we can use to enter that particular place. And should in case that there is where the place suddenly becomes hostile, these are the various escape routes that we can actually use to escape from that particular place. So these are the various things that the military actually do when they are when they want to embark on any critical operation. You see, whether you like it or not, wealth is like a critical operation. If you do not have a plan or a blueprint for action, you will not be able to what you won't be wealthy. You will not be able to know the best steps to take, what to do and what not to do in order for you to be wealthy. So that's the number one. So you do not have a plan. Your plan is what, how much money do I want? At what age do I want it? What are the things that I can do that can actually give me this money? You need to be to be very realistic with your plan. Even as you are setting it, you need to be very realistic with your plan. For instance, uh, you want to buy a mobile phone. What are the capabilities that you expect that particular mobile phone to have? So your capabilities, that what you are expecting that particular mobile phone to have, or the functionalities that you want that particular mobile phone to help you achieve, will determine the kind of mobile phone that you want, that you will buy. And this determine the kind of mobile phone that you buy now will also determine the amount that particular mobile phone will also cost you, because mobile phone are various categories depending on their functionality, and this their functionality now is the more complex its functionality is, the more likely it will be expensive. That means a cheap mobile phone will deliver you a cheaper functionality. Let's use, for instance, we have the Samsung Galaxy S9. Its functionality cannot be compared with the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. The two are Samsungs. The two are Samsung mobile phone. You see the difference, the variance in functionality now. So the same way, wealth is, you need to have a plan. The plan is, this is how much I want to have. These are the likely things that I intend to do. You have to be very feasible to yourself. You have to be very objective to yourself. You have very truthful to yourself and say that, okay, this industry, if I'm to go into this industry, maybe for a job or for a business, does it have the potentiality or the possibility of making me wealthy? If it does not have the possibility of making me wealthy, then it's likely possible that all, irrespective of the number of years that you spend in that particular industry, it would not what? It would not make you wealthy. So that's the number one on wealth. Then number two is closely related to this number one. So number two is, you do not have a strategy. You see, whether you like it or not, I talked about military operation and how they 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 spend a lot of time studying the map of a particular region, of a particular location, when they want to go to that particular place for what? For operation. When you have a plan, it will now drive you towards a strategy. The strategy, you will now know, these are the things I want to do, these are the things that I do not want to do, and a lot of other things like that. Those are now the things that you consider on your journey to what? Or your journey to wealth. So, number one, you don't have a plan. Number two, you do not have a strategy. Okay, let's use this for a case study now. If you are given maybe three about $50,000 today, to turn this $50,000 into a gold mine, in quote, gold mine, what and what do you already have in mind that you will spend that $50,000 on, that can translate to making this $50,000 to be multiplied either in the near future or in the far future? When we say in the near future, we're talking about the short-term result, and the far future, we're talking about the long-term result. In the next 3 months, what will this 50,000 be like? In the next 1 year, what will it be like? In the next 3 years, what will it be like? In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, what will this 50,000 be like? You understand? That's what we call a plan alongside a strategy. So that's number two. Now, number three, you spend more than you earn. You see, when you spend more than you earn, there is every tendency that you will never be wealthy, because you are likely to spend on things that will not add value to you. And since you are spending on things that will not what? Add value to you, you might you have the very high tendency on what? On spending on things that you do not need, and you end up bagging a lot of wealth. And there's no way you will be bagging a lot of debt and you will become wealthy. Let's give this for a case study. Let's assume maybe you earn $1,000 or you earn $500. That is your monthly take-home pay. Either you owning a business, you pay yourself that particular amount of money from your business at the end of every month, or you are an employee of a system and you are paid this same $500 at the end of every month. This particular amount of money that you will be paid now, what is the possibility? What is the probability that you will spend below this $500? If you do not have any possibility of spending below this $500, you're already on your way towards what? Towards debt. And with this, you cannot be wealthy because you buy things that you want to please people. You give to people who do not actually, who will actually not appreciate it. You give to people who are of no value or of no use to you. You give to things that maybe you just want people to just kind of to look you with a kind of eyes that you just want them to make, you want just want to feel as if maybe you have arrived. You just want to create that impression to this what, to this set of people, and with this kind of thing, you what, you end up not being wealthy. So once you spend more than your income, the tendency that you run into debt in a very short time and not on the, yeah, even on the long run, is what is very high. And with this, you cannot become wealthy. Then number four, you don't have a good network. When we say network, we're talking about people who influences you. You don't have a good network or you don't have a good influence. You see, whether you like it or not, your network is your net worth. I don't know, maybe you've heard this from somewhere else before, that your network is your net worth. You see, if you have a good network, that means people who are great in your life that you can be able to call them and tell them that, please, I will need this, I will need this, I will need this, I will need this. And they are able to what? And they're able to give you that particular kind of help that can take you to your next level. There is every high tendency that you what? You can count on these people, and when you will need help, these people will be the first to stand for you even while you are not there. Whether you like it or not, your these people who who actually these people who are your network, whether you like it or not, it is either they are speaking for you or they are speaking against you. And it is either they are lifting you up or they are pulling you down. That's what your network is. Let's use this for a case study. You see, when you pour the crab into a bowl or into a container, you will notice one thing about the crab. When all of them all will be struggling to come out at the same time, the one at the bottom is trying to pull the one up, be trying to pull it down. Meaning that the one at the top cannot continue going up, and the one at the bottom will always make the one that have actually gone up a little to pull them what? To pull them down. So that's the destiny of a crab. So if you have a negative network or network that are not what? Pulling you up, it means they are pulling you down. And it will be good, bad, very bad for you. And with this kind of system, you will not be what? You will not be wealthy in life. Another thing you see under your network is that you do not deliberately create, look for opportunity to create new relationship. You see, be deliberate, be very conscious, be very deliberate about it. Look for opportunity to what? To create new relationship. Go to events. Go to events, and when you go to events, don't actually you may not necessarily need to put on the most expensive clothes, but dress modest. At least maybe wear a little. good smelling perfume. Don't when you are before you go to such events, eat properly at home so that when you get there, you don't, the time that you're spending to network and communicate with people who are of high value, you will not be spending that time in what in looking for their food, in telling the event managers or those who are in the catering or the ushers, telling them that food has not gotten to you yet. You will not be what? You will not be spending time on such. Instead, you'll be focusing on who are the persons that matter. Showcase yourself. You have a talent, you have a skill, jobs that you can actually deliver on. Communicate with people and tell them, I'm into this, I'm into that. I can do this for you, I can do this for you. Stuffs like that. Then collect their contacts. They also collect your contact. But if it happens that they do not collect your contact, you collect their contact or you collect their complimentary card. And no important dates in their life. At the beginning of the week, blast them with Happy New Week messages. At the beginning of the month, blast them with new month messages. Do this as often as you can. And on the long run, remember that you've actually told them that what you can actually do. And on the long run, if they see that there is consistency in your character, there is every high tendency or chances that what, if need be, they will call you to deliver on some projects, and with that, you are already climbing up the ladder of wealth and the ladder of greatness. So that's for number 4. Then number 5, you don't take your job serious, either your job, your business, or your source of income. You don't take it seriously. You see, whether you like it or not, for you to be wealthy, it hinders on your source of income. For you to be wealthy, it hinges, or sorry, for you to be wealthy, it hinges, it sits on your source of income, or what brings money to your table. That means it's either you have a job, either full-time or part-time job, you're having a business, or maybe you have an inheritance. But whether you like it or not, it will hugely rest on either your job or your finance. So with the more business that are profitable that you are able to close effectively, the higher your chances, the higher your possibility of becoming wealthy on the long run. But if it happens that you are not taking this your job seriously, that means if it takes you a very long time to deliver on one project, sooner than later you are going to lose clients, and people who will deliver that particular job at a very short time, they will what? They will get your job and they will take your customers away from you, and with you losing customers and clients, you will what? You are already losing money, and your chances of becoming successful and being wealthy is gradually being what? It's gradually being reduced. So that's another thing that you must know. Then if you are in a job and it's not paying enough, look for an opportunity to grow up the ladder, skill, success and greatness. Success and greatness. Then number 6 is you you prioritize other people over yourself. You see, whether you like it or not, for you to be able to give and give well, you must first have enough. You must first have enough for you to be able to give and give well. There is a parable, or there is a saying that goes thus, that you cannot give from an empty cup. What does it mean to give from an empty cup? For you to give from an empty cup means that your cup is empty. If you turn it, nothing will be inside. So if somebody comes to you to ask for water and the cup that is with you is empty, and this person asks you for water, you cannot, when you turn, nothing will come outside. So uh for you to be uh a wealthy person on the long run, you must prioritize yourself first over others. That means I'm not saying that you should not be kind, you should not be generous, but place yourself in as the number one on the scale of preference before you place other people. Don't place on other people first ahead of yourself. Let's use for instance, maybe you just got a new job or a new contract, and by the time your profit came, instead of you to uh looking at the things that you need for you to scale up in that particular line of job or that particular line of business, the next thing you do is you want to throw a party, you want to invite people to come and eat and make merry, and uh have fun of themselves. I am not saying that is bad, but you should put other things that you truly need for that your particular line of business or that particular line of career, that particular source of income to continue growing higher and higher. You must consider all of those things first before you put other source of other kind of pleasure, other kind of giving to others before you put those ones on the particular what on your scale of preference. If let's assume maybe you do a particular kind of job that involves maybe a uniform or a dress code, when there should be a particular routine or a particular time duration in which you change your work uniform, even if the ones you're already using, they are not old already, but just add new ones so that occasionally when you show up on the work at work, they'll see that this guy is growing, is improving. It's not only that one single piece of work uniform that is always wearing over and over and over and over again. So it also gives impression to other people, maybe those you work for, that this guy, he knows what he's doing, he's committed to his job, he values what he uses to makes his money. If you are a workman or somebody who does work that involves tools, buy more tools, have sets of tools so that it's not just one that you use in delivering tasks. Have sets of tools. So whenever you have new jobs, you say, I didn't see this where the last time I came to your office. So you will now have this set of tools. Now you cannot deliver on this task. Stuffs like that. So ensure you put yourself first before others. And number seven rather, you don't have an investment, or you are not planning to have an investment, or the current investment you have, you do not have intention of growing it more than it as it is. You see, whether you like it or not, for you to grow effectively, it means that you must have a system that works. For you to become wealthy, it means you must have a system whereby, whether you are at work, whether you are asleep or you are not asleep, this system is constantly working and is producing money for you. When you check some definition of financial independence, it means that you've created a system that can actually sustain you for a particular period of time, whether you work or you do not work. That means you have money to buy all of the things that you truly want at a particular time without necessarily going bankrupt. Do you understand? So for you to be financially independent and be wealthy, you will need to You need to have an investment, and If you already have existing investment, you need to have what? You need to have more. You need to grow existing ones and have new ones coming up. If you look at all billionaires globally, there's no billionaire that has only one source of income. If you take a look at Elon Musk, he has Starlink, he has Tesla, he has Twitter, he has SpaceX, which is into space travel. He has PayPal. In fact, he has Neuralink. In fact, I can't even mention all of them at the moment in this particular podcast edition. So you see that all of the world renowned billionaires or known billionaires, whether known or not known, but for this person, if this person is being rated using all his assets to rate him, or what brings in money for him to rate him, you will discover that this person does not have only one source of income. So for you to have only one source of income, it means that you will never, or you will not be wealthy. So that's number 7. Then number 8, you are not financially accountable to yourself. You see, I talked about spending money more than you earn the other time. You see, the reason what will actually make you to be making such kind of mistake is when you are not accountable to yourself. Ask yourself question occasionally. Have a monthly statement of account of your bank account, and what? And say to yourself, this money, what are the things I spent money on this month? This money that I spent on these particular things, was I actually supposed to spend this thing on these items? Ask yourself questions. Ask yourself, why did I spend this particular amount of money? Will this money give to me, both on the short run and on the long run? Ask yourself such questions. If you are not able to, when you ask yourself such questions, and you are not able to get a good answer that will actually make you to be wealthy on the long run, it means that you will not be wealthy on the long run. For you to be wealthy on the long run, you need to make deliberate decisions that will involve risk taking, that will involve your growth, and that will give you some level of initial discomfort. However, when those discomforts are over, they will produce positive results at the end. Let's give an instance. Drawing the investment as a case, using the investment, which is number 7, as a case study now. You are a farmer. Maybe you grow maize or you grow corn. At the end of the harvest season, you will not sell all the corn that you harvested. You are likely to sell a good amount of them, and also keep others for the next planting season. These ones that you kept for the next planting season, you will store them in such a way that moth does not has access to them. Any kind of insect that actually attacks vegetable, that attacks grains or attacks plants of the corn or maize family, do not has access to this corn that you have kept in a particular place for the next planting season. And when you keep all this, you want to preserve it to ensure that it remains viable for your next planting season. And the next planting season, this is what you will be doing. After planting, first of all you brush the farm, whether forest or whatsoever, you brush, and after brushing, you pack, burn, you till the soil. After tilling, you plant. After planting, It's expected that the rain will fall. If there's no rain, there's another method of in which you get water for those crops, then irrigation or whatsoever method that you use to get water for that, but it's most likely going to be rain or irrigation. Then after that, then the next thing you are going to do is to be weeding those particular crops, weeding, removing weeds from it so that the crops will be able to what? To grow well. All of this now, you are investing in just only those what? In those new corn that you planted. Now, look at the amount of weed or the quantity of weed that you will remove from that maize farm compared to the quantity of the maize that you planted. You will discover that the weed will usually be more than the what? Than the maize that you actually planted in that farm. But remember that you are most concerned about that particular maize. And in some cases, maybe if it's an area whereby pests and rodents are disturbing, you have to put insecticide, pesticides, and rodenticides so that the rodents will not come and infiltrate that particular farm and attack your corn, especially when they're about producing or when they've started what? Producing. So you see, all of this investment is towards that your corn now. The same thing is applicable to being wealth and being wealthy. So you need to what? You need to be accountable to yourself. Ask yourself certain questions and give answers to yourself. Be very objective. Ask yourself with all sincerity, and with this, if you can answer yourself and with truth, then you will be wealthy. But if you can answer yourself with truth, it means you will not be wealthy. Then number 9, you don't believe in wealth. Another sign that you will not be wealthy in life. You don't believe in wealth. You see, if you believe that this shirt is white, the shirt I'm putting on is white, although it has some other stripe and other design that actually made on it. But the background of the shirt is white. It has a dark blue, navy blue color. Now, this is it. If you believe this is white with all sincerity, nobody else can easily convince you otherwise to believe that this shirt I'm putting on is black. The same thing is applicable to wealth. If you believe in wealth and you believe it is achievable, I believe it's attainable, nobody can convince you otherwise that you cannot be wealthy. So with such, you begin to take steps, you begin to take approach towards getting there. But if you do not believe in it, there is no way it will happen to you. So you must believe in wealth. If you wish to be wealthy, you must believe in wealth. Then number 10, you don't have a savings account. I know this will sound weird and to sound strange. Okay, what I'm actually talking about is not your traditional savings account. You may actually have a traditional savings account, but the question is, do you have a savings? That is the question. If you do not have a savings, then it means you don't have a savings account, even though you have a savings account with a bank. If you do not have a savings in it, you do not have a savings account. You see, your savings account must not necessarily contain millions of dollars in it or billions of dollars in it for it to be a savings. But your deliberate plan, your deliberate decision to have a blueprint to say that this month, this will be what I will be putting in this account at the end of this month, and this particular amount will be a fixed figure. And for you to be able to achieve such, it means that you must fraction, have your income must be operated by fraction. That means you have a fraction that goes in for expenditure, you have a fraction that goes in for investment, you have a fraction that goes in for saving, you have a fraction that goes in for emergencies and eventualities. You have if you are the type who believes or operates charity like I do, you must also have a fraction that goes in for charity. For instance, in my own self, my own case, I have a fraction for charity. I'm not here to disclose that to you, but I have a fraction that goes for charity. And immediately, as soon as that fraction for every month is what is exhausted, there is no way you ask me for help, and it's in quote charitable. That means I'm not expecting you to pay me back. That I will tell you that I do not have to give you at the moment. So if you do not have a design like this, there is no way you will be able to have a savings. Even any of these, you will not be what? You will not be wealthy in life. So number one is you do not have a plan. Number two, you don't have a strategy to be wealthy. Even if you just anticipating, or you just believe, or you just believe it, if you do not have a strategy, you will not be what? You will not be wealthy. Then number three, you spend more than your income. That means if, as let's assume you earn $500, you end up spending about $600 or $700 before the month runs out. So that means you are in debt of about $100 to $200. Then at the end of the month, when your salary comes, you clear that debt first, then you resume another debt again. So with such, you will not be wealthy. Then number four, you do not have a network that can elevate you to wealth. You cannot speak. You when it will matter most to speak for your greatness, you might not necessarily be there, or you might not be there. It is your good network or your powerful network that you have built. They are the ones that will speak on your behalf. They are the one who will speak good of you. Then number five rather, you don't have you don't take your job seriously, or your job, business, or your source of income, you don't take it seriously. Number six, you prioritize other people's other people first against yourself. You must be the one that should be on the number one scale of preference. Then number seven, you don't have an investment, or you don't have a plan. You don't have an investment, and even if you have, it is either you are not growing it, or you do not have a plan of having other investments. So that's number seven. Then number eight, you are not financially accountable to yourself. If you are financially accountable to yourself, there's no way that you will not become wealthy. Then number nine, you don't believe in wealth. Then number 10, you don't have a savings or a savings account. So feel free, this session will be a very long one, so you can just scroll through to the various session. Guys, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. I'm Moses, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. Do well to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Rumble for other wonderful edition. Thank you, and I'll see you next one. Bye.